Welcome to Beyond Midnight, where ambition meets consequence, and the supernatural waits in the shadows. When the clock strikes 12, the veil between the seen and the unseen fades. Here,
Russia, 1912, a year steeped in superstition, where the cold winds whispered of the unnatural. In the village of Beremov, winter's icy grasp held the land tight. By day, the villagers worked in grim silence. By night, they bolted their doors, fearing a darkness that seemed far too thick. Yakov, the gravekeeper, noticed the changes first. Disturbed graves, shattered coffins, missing bodies. He had tended to the cemetery for decades, and something was terribly wrong. The villagers, already terrified, turned their suspicions toward him. Yakov was a man of few words, reserved, solitary, always an outsider. His nightly patrols and silent demeanor made him a figure of unease. Yet Yakov knew he was innocent. Determined to uncover the truth and protect the village, he steeled himself for what lay ahead. Night after night, Yakov scoured the icy graveyard, lantern in hand. He ventured into the shadows that seemed to twist and dance, their shapes whispering of horrors unseen. The silence of the cemetery was oppressive, broken only by the wind's groan. Then, on the fourth night, it happened. In the grey light of midday, he saw her, a hunched figure moving with unnatural grace between the graves. A hag, her spine bent like a crooked branch, her gnarled limbs ending in claws as blackened as scorched wood. Yakov froze. His breath caught as the weak light caught her face, a decayed mask of taut skin, sharp teeth, and ember-like eyes that flickered like dying embers. She cackled, a bubbling noise that echoed through the graveyard, sending shivers deep into his bones. Her words were incomprehensible, but one phrase repeated like a curse: the cave, the cave. Then, with a grotesque laugh, she vanished into the woods. That night, driven by a mixture of curiosity and dread, Yakov followed. Through the snow-choked forest, he trailed dark shapes, three cloaked figures moving in eerie harmony. The trees thickened, their branches twisting like fingers, the air growing colder and more suffocating. At last, they arrived at the entrance to a cave, its jagged mouth choked with ancient roots. Inside, the stench of decay was overpowering. At the heart of the cavern stood a stone altar, slick with grotesque offerings, organs and bones gleaming under the flicker of a lone candle. Yakov's breath caught as the three figures lowered their hoods. Three crones, their faces withered and cruel, began to chant in unison. Their voices, grating and guttural, reverberated off the stone walls as they arranged the grisly remains. The air thickened with dark energy, shadows pressing in hungrily. They were summoning something. Yakov watched in terror as the chant grew louder, reaching a fever pitch. The altar trembled, the cave walls groaned. From the depths of the shadows, a fiery entity emerged, a demon of flame and fury, its form impossible to describe, its eyes twin beacons of malice. The crones shrieked in triumph until the demon turned on them. "You dare summon me with such mockery," it bellowed, its fiery tendrils lashing out. The altar erupted into flames, engulfing the crones in an instant. Their screams echoed long after their bodies were reduced to ash. Then, with a deafening roar, the cave collapsed, trapping the infernal being beneath its rubble. When Yakov emerged into the freezing night, the village was waiting. He said nothing of what he had witnessed, though his haunted expression spoke volumes. The disturbances in the graveyard ceased, but Yakov's place among the villagers was forever uneasy. The nightmares never left him. The graves, though undisturbed, would never again feel like a place of rest. The gravekeeper's curse had been lifted, but the scars remained.
dare to step beyond midnight. Subscribe to uncover the untold and venture where others fear to tread.